Hi, good afternoon. It's Sue from Snake River Stamping. Thank you for joining me today on my regular Tuesday broadcast. I kind of do this at different times of the day on Tuesday, depending on my schedule. So I apologize for not being real consistent with that. But I would like to welcome you in, and I hope you enjoy today's broadcast. Sadly, we do not have Piper with us today. She's busy, but hopefully she's going to join us again after the new year. She'll have a little bit more time. Right now she's super busy. Her family's super busy, but she does love to do this, and she mostly loves to wear the microphone, even though she's really quiet. So I've ordered her own microphone so that we both can, whoops, sorry, I hit the table. So we both can have a microphone and you can hear both of us. I find myself in a little bit of a pickle this month, and maybe you're in a pickle too. I have been making cards for 2 months for Christmas, and I have been giving away a lot of them, and I made some for some people. And when I counted up my cards on Sunday, yeah, it was Sunday, I found that I was like 40 cards short. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The only thing I can do is some things I've talked about before, is batching cards, and they can't be really difficult. They have to be pretty easy. So I can get 40 cards done and out this week. So that is what I'm going to show you today, is a couple of really easy cards. And they're not only easy, but they're really versatile. They can be Christmas cards, or they could be birthday cards, they could be sympathy cards, they could be just about anything cards, because the layouts are really easy to do. I cased these cards recently. The first one I cased from Heidi Collins. She has On a Go Stamping, and you can find her at Stampin'_Heidi on Facebook and Instagram. And the second card I cased from Susan Campfield, and she has sue.turner.snakeriverstamping stamping. And I've linked both of their sites. If you're watching on Facebook, it's above me. If you're watching on YouTube, it's below me. Just depends on which platform you're looking at. So anyway, we're going to get myself out of this pickle today and start making. I've already started making cards. I worked on them for a couple hours the other night, and I made quite a few. But I would like to share my desktop with you for a minute. Well, more than a minute. We're going to share my desktop. And it's just a matter of pressing all the right buttons. There we go. So this is my December host code right here. And if you place, I'm trying to remember, I should write these things down. I'll have to go back and look at my video. I either said $30 order or $40 order. One of those two. We'll just say $30 because it's Merry Christmas, right? A $30 order in my store using my host code. And all the products I have linked will take you directly to my store, my online store, so you can order with me. And I really, really appreciate your orders so much. So use my host code and order what you need, okay, in December, by December 31st. And you will get for free this month this beautiful, a whole entire, this is not an entire one because I've been using it, but I do have new ones. You will get a whole roll. It will be sealed up and everything, of this silver and white sheer ribbon. And this is like probably my favorite ribbon that came out this year. It's very versatile. It goes with lots of different things. And I think you'll really like it. This is $9 in the online store. So it's a $9 value for you. and I will send it to you completely free for a $30 order. Okay. And I can tell when you order and how much you order. So don't worry, you don't need to email me. But if you have questions, you can call me or email me at sue.turner.snakeriverstamping@gmail.com. And I think I have that linked also today in my store, or in my information that I have. Okay, I'll leave my host code up here for you. And I'm going to try to center that just a little bit better and straighten up that camera. Okay. All right. I was going to show you the other thing I'm behind on, of course. I've done my shopping because I do most of my shopping online for my grandkids. I have 6 grandkids. And so I've been stacking up those boxes, and I need to get those wrapped, especially for my oldest granddaughter who's going to Arizona on Sunday. So I need to get her gift to her this weekend. So I was showing you, wanted to show you, this is that ephemera I shared with you earlier, and this is in our last chance list in my online store, this ephemera. And you could use some this year and save some for next year. But anyway, all I did was cut out some tags, and I got these from, not that one, Greetings of the Season. Yeah, I got these tags. They have all sorts of tags in here, all different sizes and shapes, that you can cut out. And I use this big one, and then I cut that out, and I embossed it with this snowflakes embossing folder. You can see that, how it's embossed. And then I put the little snowman and a couple of little ornaments on there. And I put it already has a hole in the top. I put a little gem on it, and I use that pretty silver and white ribbon, that sheer ribbon. And then I cut a second piece on it, because writing on the back of this, it would be debossed on the other side. So I just glued another piece on the back so I could write on it to my granddaughter Charlotte, and there's her tag. And it probably took me 3-4 minutes to make this tag, and I'll make some for all the grandkids. Each one of them. I'll use that ephemera pack because it's so easy. I don't have to color anything or cut anything. They just pop right out. And in fact, I've popped them all out and put them in a bag. So I just dump them on my desk and sort them out and start gluing them on. This is just a really, really easy tag, easy thing to do. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you today. I also wanted to share with you today, put that to the side, that in January, on January 7th, our new mini catalog goes live. And I can't show you what's inside yet until January 7th, but I will be sharing some of the products next week on Tuesday. And they will not be Christmas. They will be something totally different. The great thing about the January through April mini catalog is for every $60 you spend before shipping and tax, you get to pick out something free from the Celebration catalog, totally free. And I'm sorry I can't show you that yet either, but on January 7th, I will be sharing what's in the catalogs. And before then, I don't know why this is the way it is, but I can share the stuff once I have it, and I do have some of it. I can share some of the items that are in the catalog, which I'll be doing next Tuesday. Okay, so don't forget about Celebration. Okay, today, I think I got everything on my list. Okay, I think I did. So my first card is this one, and this is the one that I cased from Heidi Collins. And Heidi Collins she is, both these gals, Heidi and Sue Campfield, are just really skilled card makers, and I learned a lot from both of them. I changed Heidi's a little bit. Hers was a fun fold, and she used it as a gift card holder, and so I didn't want to send out 40 gift cards, so I just want to send the cards. So this is the card we're going to make using the Seasons of Green and Gold paper and using Peaceful Season for the cutouts. I'll show you those things that we have. So this is the card, and when I stamp on the inside, I personally like room to write, so I usually stamp my greeting in one of the corners so that I can have room to write, because if it's in the middle, then I got to write around it, and it's not as easy to read. So that's why I usually stamp in the corners. So I'm going to be explaining this card first. So you're going to start off, and she actually used old olive background, and I decided to use black because I like black, and I thought it looked pretty good on this card. What do you think? Do you like the black? And if you don't, you can always use one of the colors in the DSP. I always pick my DSP first when I make a card, and then I pick my cardstock color. And this time black is a very neutral color, and it goes with almost anything. And you start out with a card base, and I started out with a basic black that's 8.5 by 5.5, and you score it at 4.5, which means you just have to fold it in half. And when I do this, I just put my fingernail right here, and I use my bone folder to crease it really good. And I have my card base. Okay, 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4.25. Okay. Then I cut some paper. I cut some very vanilla, 2.25 by 4.75, and I'm going to be cutting the background for Christmas. If you'll notice on this card, Christmas is in black letters, but the background is very vanilla, which goes with the designer series paper. The very vanilla goes with this. So I did the Mary in very vanilla and the background for Christmas, which is in this bundle. Okay, so that's what I use for that. Then I had a piece of black cardstock, 1 inch by 4.75 inches for the word Christmas, the one I'm going to cut out here. And you can either use, if you have it, you can either use adhesive sheets for the black Christmas. They look like this. And this is number 152334. Okay, adhesive sheets. Or you can glue it. And today I'm going to show you a little trick on gluing it, because almost everybody has the glue, right? But not everybody has the adhesive sheets. So I use the adhesive sheet on this one, on the black part, but I'm going to show you how to do that with glue today so that it doesn't spill out, because it's really kind of small. Okay, my inside is very vanilla, and I did 3.75 by 5, and that's the size I like for the inside. I almost always cut mine that size. And then this comes from Seasons of Green and Gold, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is very vanilla and gold little diamonds shapes, and that's gonna go on the first layer like that. Okay. And then I needed another piece of black, basic black, and this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And that's going to go on top of that. And then I picked which one of the, I really like this particular pattern of the green and gold, the Seasons of Green and Gold. And this is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. And that will go on top of this. And then I cut a small tag for my Mary. Okay, I just needed a scrap, which you'll have plenty of scrap out of that one. And in your bundle, you'll notice that there's a large one and a small one. I used the small one, and I used these two dies too out of this set that we're gonna use in just a moment. So I have this one. It's gonna go up here with Mary on it, and then I'm gonna make my Christmas. So here's my trick. Well, it's not my trick. I learned it online, watching other card demonstrators do this. Whenever I do glue or adhesive, I'm going to use a silicone mat. So the first thing I want to do, because this is going to I'm going to let some glue set and dry, is I'm going to take the word Christmas and I'm going to cut it out of my black 1 inch by 4 3/4 inch paper. And it would be helpful, there it is. I had a little piece of repositionable tape, and I'm going to stick that on my pants and get some of the sticky off of it. So I don't want it to tear this paper. And this is kind of a tight fit. You could make it more than, you could do 1 1/4 inches if you want to. And I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss machine for this. And you can use your big one too. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but this one fits on my desk really nicely. And I'm just going to roll this through. And I'm going to roll it back through and hopefully get a good cut on this. You should get a good cut. Yep. And this should just pop right out. And when I take the tape off, even though I stuck it on my pants, I'm really careful. And you can use these pieces of repositionable tape several times. And so I've got the word Christmas out of this. I mean, I could use this for something else too and put a color underneath there and it would look kind of cool. So I'm going to save that in my little bin that I have. And I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool to poke this out. And there's little holes in the die to stick your Take Your Pick tool or something sharp, and you can pull it right out. Okay. I'm going to leave that for just a second because while I have this piece out, I am going to do my background also. Now you'll notice that I have a little black piece right here, and I want to save that because that's the dot on the eye on Christmas, and it fell out, and it's called a tilde. And I want to save that, so I'm going to put that right over there to save my dot on my eye, because it does look better when you dot your eye on Christmas. And I can put this one down here and still have room to cut my banner, my small banner. I'm not going to cut one because I've already done that. But I'm going to put that down and just tape it down a little bit. I'm using that same piece of tape, and it gets a little bit squirrely, but it will hold that down. And this is my background for my Black Christmas word. Now this one's easy to glue on or pop it up with dimensionals, whatever you want to do, because it comes out in one fairly large piece. The other one, of course, is a cutout word, so it's a little bit harder to deal with, but not impossible. So then I have my background for my Christmas that's going to lay on here. Okay. And you can see where the little dot for the eye goes, right? So here comes the trick that I learned from watching another demonstrator. And because my problem with glue, everybody's problem with glue with something like this, is you put the glue on and then you place it on whatever you want to glue it onto, even if it's a solid piece, and the glue squirts out. So I'm doing this at the beginning of my project on purpose because I want to let this glue set. And I can let this set for 7 to 10 minutes and it will get tacky, but it won't dry completely. And so you can see I'm putting little dots of glue on the edges and the top, down the sides, wherever I think I need this glue, this word to stick. And that's a little bit much, but it's gonna get tacky because I'm gonna set this to the side and let it dry for a little while. And I'm gonna bring back in my little dot. Try not to stick your sleeve in it. And there is an up and a down. If you look at it, you can tell. And I'm going to put the tiniest dot, I hope, of glue on here. There we go. Okay, so I am just going to take this whole silicone mat. I don't think I have quite enough on there. Ah! Ugh. Doing a live, I tell you. And we're going to let that dry for a little bit, and then we will glue it on if I can get it off my finger. I'll do that. Where did my lost my little tilde? Okay, I'm going to draw one in. What I'm going to do. Not sure what I did with it. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this whole mat, and I'm going to set this to the side to get tacky. And when it looks like it's tacky, 7 to 10 minutes or something like that, then I'm going to glue it on to the Very Vanilla and put my dies back so I can find them next time because I'm bad about that. And I'm going to take off my little sheets. I told you the sizes already of the paper. And now for these parts, I'm going to use my Seal Plus. And you don't have to run it down every inch of your this card's going to go this direction, and I kind of look at the top and the sides and get those even and put that down. Okay. And then, and like I said, I am batching these cards. I've already made several. I cut out all the pieces, put them in a stack, and then I start putting them together one part at a time. Okay. And there's an up and down on this pattern. Pay attention. Sometimes there's not, it's random, but on this particular pattern, there is an up and a down. And so I put that on. Okay. So now I have my little banner, and I want the word Mary, and I'm going to stamp it in black, and I get out my handy dandy Misty. Get these on Amazon. You can get them from Simon Says Stamp. They're all those places. They're about the same price. It really, you don't save money unless you're like me. Order a lot of stuff from Amazon, and I get points. So, like, I got my granddaughter this expensive backpack for free the other day because I had enough points. I was really happy about that because he asked for one of those trendy backpacks, you know, that the high school kids have to have. So I position my stamp so it looks like it's straight. There's lines on the clear part at the top. And I just tap, tap, tap lightly because I can do this more than one time. Also, Amazon, one of these rubbing tools. It's got some felt on this side that makes it glide pretty easy. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit more ink on that. Tapping gently. And I've got my Mary. Okay. And while I have my stamping tool out here, I am going to stamp the inside of my card. And I got to remember, because I've done this more than once, that I want to go this way because my card is going landscape, okay? Not portrait, it's going landscape. So I want my words down in this corner down here. And I'm going to pick these words. And I'm going to leave a little space down here in case I write a lot, I'll have room to write, you know, from Sue, love Sue, whatever, depending on who I'm sending it to. This stamp says, friends and family are the true gift of Christmas. I think that's a really nice sentiment to put on a Christmas card. So I just go down, I capture that. The top of my Misty, I'm going to stamp this again in Memento ink. I should have showed that to you. This is Memento Tuxedo Black. Okay. And I go down, I get my rubbing device. And that looks pretty good. So this will go on the inside of my card. And again, I'm just going to use my tape. I'm going to put just a couple little pieces on here. And I'm going to put that in here. And I got a little smudge all right over that. Okay. All right, back to Christmas. All right, this is glossy. It looks perfect. I am going to take my tweezers because I want to place this Christmas over here on top of the very vanilla. And I kind of do it one letter at a time as I'm looking at it. And I can press it down. It is adhered. No glue came out. I lost my tilde. I don't know how I did that, but lucky for me, I have a black pen. So it's not as good as the tilde, but I am just going to take this and color in right here because that's where the tilde would go. And you can't really tell that that is not the cutout tilde, right? Now, I'm going to close my black before I stick my hand in it and get my glue again and put some more dots. Now, I don't really need to let this one dry as much because it's a much wider piece than that black Christmas was. And I put my Christmas on first before I put my Mary on. Kind of get that place where I want it to be. Okay. My Christmas on there. And then I bring my Mary back in. I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to use some mini dimensionals on this because it's small. And I'm going to put 3. I'm not going to put them on either end. I'm going to let those little flags kind of flap in the wind. And you could put them on there if you want. I mean, it's your card. Do it the way you want. I changed the way Heidi did her card a little bit. I mean, I loved her card just the way she did it, but I needed mine to suit my needs. So, you know, you make changes when you make your card. And in the stamping world, they have this cool word called casing, which means that you borrow somebody else's idea and you make it your own. And so now that card, as you can see, that was really pretty fast. And I have my Merry Christmas card. I have room to write, and I'm done with that card. And in fact, I have a stack of these. Okay. All right. On to card number 2. This card I borrowed from the idea from Sue Campfield. And this is called a chair rail card. And that's because you cut a piece of paper in half, or it's not in half. The top part is 3 inches and the bottom is 2 inches. And you put kind of what is a chair rail in between to cover up the 2 parts. And I use the Winter Meadow cardstock, or DSP, excuse me, DSP on this card. And what I do to make this card is I have a piece of DSP that is 5 inches from top to bottom lengthwise and 3 3/4 inches across. And then I cut it at 3 inches. So the top is going to be 3 inches and the bottom is going to be 2. And almost in all DSP, the other side is something that will go with it, a color that will go with it. And this one was the same. So I'm using Blueberry Bushel. And so I'm going to turn this over and make my chair rail on here. So I start out with my DSP. I picked my DSP first from Winter Meadow, and one of the colors in there is Blueberry Bushel. So I made this one a tent card. I like tent cards because they stand up for display, or they can hang up if people, like I hang a lot of my cards on my door. So you can hang it, or you can stand it on a table or something like that. But you start out with a card base that is 11 inches by 4¼ inches, and you score it in half at 5½. I already did that. And you crease it really good. And I started with Blueberry Bushel. Okay, so I take my bone folder and I crease this really good. The next layer that I have is white, because there's also some white in here. My inside is 3¾ by 5, which is the same as the other inside. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for just a moment. But the outside is 4 by 5¼ so it's 4 inches across and 5¼ down, and that's going to be my first layer on the Blueberry Bushel, and it's going to have a little Blueberry Bushel border all the way around it. And then I'm going to put my DSP on top of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one is I want to put these together, and I want them to match up. So I want the larger piece, the 3-inch piece, to be on top. It's got the pattern, and the bottom is going to be the flip side. It's going to be the Blueberry Bushel side. So I'm just going to take this. I should probably tape this host code down, but then I lose it, or it doesn't work for me when I do that. And I just take one piece of Scotch tape. That's it. One piece. And I center it together, get it lined up, and I just put a piece of tape right there. That's it. So I've put those two pieces of paper back together. Okay. I bring back in my silicone mat because I'm going to glue, because I cut a chair rail out of Blueberry Bushel, and it's 3/8 of an inch wide, and it's 3¾ inch, or 3�3" inch tall, 3/8 of an inch by 3¾ inch long. Okay, and I'm gonna put this right here to cover up that seam, because it's the same. And I'm going to use glue in case I need to slip it around to make it stick. So I just bring in my Tombow glue, and I'm going to run some glue right down the middle of it. And I get my handy dandy tweezers. And I'm going to place my chair rail on my seam. Just like that. Okay. So on this card, I put Merry Christmas, and I used the tags out of Greetings of the Season right here, and I used this tag right here, which is this one. These magnets are really strong. Get these at Stampin' Storage. I used this one to make this tag. And the reason I did a square tag on this is because I had a round snowflake on this one. And then I put 3 little iridescent pearls on there because I thought the pearls looked really nice. They're white and they showed up really good on the the blueberry bushel. So you can, it depends on what you're going to do on it. I did find earlier today, as I was looking for something else, I found some snowflakes that I bought last year. And I put them in a safe place. There they are. These came out last year, and they're already, this is ephemera already cut, little snowflakes that you could use something like this if you wanted to put a snowflake in here. Okay. Or I also stamped and cut out this piece. This is just some like foliage, Christmas foliage that can go down here somewhere. And then I thought I might use a circle, put on there, and then I'll put some pearls down here. So I have these two things to put on this one. So I don't know if you like the white snowflake. So it's got a pearlescent side to it. And like the word Christmas, this doesn't have any sticky on the back. You'll need to glue it or something. So I would put little dots of glue on here, like I did with this snowflake. I put little dots of glue and I let it dry again for about 7 minutes before I stuck it back on here. Okay. So this time I'm going to use this one, I think. And I am going to use some regular sized. I'm going to pop this up and glue this flat. I'm just going to put a few of these on here. And of course, you can color these if you'd like, but I thought it looked just fine. Just with I stamped it with blueberry bushel ink, which I linked in my supplies below. And I'm just going to put this a little bit over here because I want some room for my gems to be on the side. And then I'm going to make this flat. I think I might put that in the middle more. And I'm just going to put some glue on here. I'm not going to put any glue where those holes are because they will definitely come out. But I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there. This Tidings of Comfort and Joy I got out of a stamp set. I think I got it out of this one. And this is from last year too. And then there's another one that has Tidings of Comfort and Joy in it also. So, and I'm going to put 3 pearls on here. I'm going to make them this pattern. And then all I need to do is glue this on the white. I think I'll glue the white down first and then I'll glue that back on the white. It might go a little smoother for me. Okay. Glue a little bit of this. The reason I'm not using my tape on this is because I've already done the other side and I've got bumpy stuff on there. So glue is going to go on a lot better than tape. since I already decorated it. Center that. Put it down. And of course, every card needs a little bit of shimmer spray. I forgot to shimmer spray the other one. I'm going to have to do that. But this card definitely needs some shimmer spray, which I do over my garbage can over here. Almost out of this bottle. A little globby. Yeah, I'm almost out of this bottle. Shimmer spray. But it added a little glimmer to this very simple, very easy card. And I have my inside, my 3 3¾ by 5. And I would stamp a greeting before I stick this on the inside. I think you get the idea for that. So again, I can batch these cards really easily. I just decide what I'm going to be putting on them, and I cut them all. I cut a bunch of them. I cut at least 10, and do 10 at a time. And like I told you, I need about 40 cards, and I've already done 10 last night, and I'll do 10 more today, and probably 20 tomorrow. Oh, I think I can do it. No, wait, I got appointments. Okay, we'll see. I might do more than 10 today. But this is, again, you can see that this paper and even the other paper are really versatile and don't have to necessarily be Christmas. I mean, if you put happy birthday on here, or with sympathy on here, or congratulations on here, these cards could also, these designer series paper, and I believe that both of these are in our last chance part of if you go on the website, there's a part that says last chance products, and a lot of stuff's on sale. Some of it's not, but that means they're phasing it out, and they're going to be bringing in, and well, they are bringing in new stuff in January. But I personally am ordering more of this because I use this paper all year long for all sorts of cards. And this chair rail design is just really versatile and easy to make any kind of card. I mean, right now I'm making Christmas cards, but like I said, it makes any kind of card, and it's really pretty easy to make. So I hope you enjoyed that. On this card, I used the decorative trees. It's again the chair rail, and it's in Lost Lagoon. And I just stamped a very Merry Christmas here, and I put some gems. On this one, I used my Druzy gems. I love these Druzy gems. I gave these out for free last month. A lot of people got these. And they have some pecan pie, which also translates kind of goldish. Then they have some gray ones and clear ones. And I just put 3 little clear ones in a little triangle on this, and did some of my decorative trees. And on the inside, I stamped "Thinking of You" with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest. And then they had a stamp with little starbursts on it, and I thought that was cute. Put on the inside. So that makes, again, the chair rail card, and it's easy to make. So I hope that you really liked these 3 cards, or 4 cards actually. I had 4 different designs using 2 of each, or 3, no, 1 of these and 3 chair rails that I made today. They're really easy. They go together really fast. And like I said, if you're in the pickle that I'm in of needing to get my Christmas cards out, because I was doing so many other things this month, or the last 2 months, for Christmas for other people, and now I need to get busy with my own stuff. And so this is what I'm going to be doing, is these easier cards. I mean, I already have some special cards I made for special friends and family, but but these are going out to a lot of people, and I think they'll be really happy with them because they're very pretty. I'm going to see you next week, next Tuesday. Like I said, I'm going to have something totally new. It's not going to have anything to do with Christmas. It's a very whimsical card. I'll have a couple ideas for you, and the items will soon be orderable for you guys. So I hope you will come back next Tuesday to watch and see what I have for you. Goodbye for now, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot for joining.